In the heart of a bustling town lived a quiet man named Arun, a 45-year-old clockmaker whose little shop sat tucked between a noisy cafe and a colorful bookstore. While the world outside ticked along with the rush of modern life, Arun's world was still frozen, just like the old grandfather clock that stood behind his counter. It hadn't ticked in over 15 years. Every morning, he dusted it gently. Every night, he stared at it in silence. People admired his skill. He could fix any clock, from tiny wristwatches to giant tower bells, but they noticed he never touched the old clock behind him. No one asked why. And Arun never told, until one day, a young woman walked into his shop. Holding a shattered watch, "Can you fix this?" she asked, placing it on the table. "It belonged to my father. He passed away last month. I dropped it by accident." Arun examined it with care. The face was cracked, the hands bent, but the gears were intact. "It's reparable," he said. The woman smiled. "Thank you. I'm Tara, by the way." He nodded. Arun. Over the next week, Tara returned a few times to check on the watch. Each time, she noticed Arun working in silence, with great precision. And always, behind him, the same lifeless grandfather clock. "Why don't you fix that one?" she finally asked one afternoon, unable to hold back her curiosity. Arun didn't look up. "Not all things are meant to be fixed." She waited, sensing there was more. And then he spoke. "My son made that clock," he said quietly. "For my birthday." He was only 16. Brilliant boy, loved building things. He wanted to be an engineer. He paused. 3 days after he gifted it, we had a fight. He wanted to go on a trip with his friends. I said no. We argued. Harsh words. That night, he sneaked out. The car crashed. Silence fell like dust in the room. "I've fixed thousands of clocks," Arun continued. "But I never touched this one again. Maybe. I believed if I fixed it, it would mean I'd moved on. That I had accepted what happened. And I haven't." Tara's eyes softened. "But it's been 15 years. Time doesn't heal. It just passes," he said, his voice hollow. She looked down at her own watch. "My father and I didn't speak for years. We fought over everything. But when he got sick, I went back. We never talked about the past. We just spent time together. That healed more than any apology could." She looked up. What if fixing the clock doesn't mean forgetting him, but honoring him? Arun didn't respond. The next day, Tara's watch was ready. He had restored it perfectly. As she took it, she gently said, "You can repair what's broken. Even if it doesn't tick the same." Then she left. That night, Arun stood in front of the grandfather clock. His hands trembled as he opened its back panel. Dust swirled in the air. The gears had rusted slightly, but they were fixable. He worked through the night, and as the sun rose, the clock gave a soft click, then a tick, then a slow, steady tock. Arun stood back, tears in his eyes. It wasn't just the clock that had come alive, it was something inside him. The next day, the townspeople were surprised to see the clock in the window, ticking proudly. Word spread, and people started visiting not just for repairs, but for stories. Arun talked about his son, his love for puzzles, his laughter, his stubbornness. He started mentoring young boys from the neighborhood, teaching them how clocks worked, telling them about time, not just how to measure it, but how to value it. One boy asked him once, "Do you still miss your son?" "Every day," Arun said. "But I don't carry the pain anymore. I carry the love." Years later, Arun passed peacefully in his sleep. The shop remained, now managed by a grown-up Tara and a young apprentice named Rishi, one of the boys Arun had mentored. The grandfather clock still stood in the window, ticking gently. Above it hung a plaque that read, "We can't change the past, but we can choose how we carry it." Moral of the story: holding on to pain doesn't honor those we've lost. It only chains us to moments we can't change. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing ourselves to live with love instead of sorrow. Time doesn't heal by itself, it's what we do with time that heals us.